Hello everyone, back tuning in to the 8th update for Christmas. So we've done 7 updates so far. Starting on the 1st of December. Been quite interesting so far this year with Christmas updates. We've had more, haven't really had a trend so far, but we have had more colder updates than we typically do when we're doing these updates. So I've only done 7 updates so far, and out of those, at least a couple were really very cold and wintry and snowy. Many of the other ones did have cold around and about the Christmas period. Now remember, we can't pinpoint this down to an exact day, so we can't look at Christmas Day's weather and say, yes, that's what we're going to be doing on Christmas Day. What we're looking for is the trend, the overall trend of what the model is suggesting for around this period. So talking about middle of December to the end of December through to the early part of January. If we get a lot of updates showing cold conditions around that period, then we can say we've got colder conditions showing up in the model for around Christmas. It doesn't mean that Christmas Day itself will be cold, but just looking at around about the Christmas period. So the last update, the 7th update, was a cold one, a very cold one actually, quite wintry, and potentially a few snow events down in the south. Check that out if you didn't see it. We'll see what the 8th update has to say in a moment. Before I get on with that, just say about the ad. So there's links to articles on all the pages. If you have a browser visit and click through links, you'll be helping us to pay for our website, and thanks very much for doing that. The Christmas shop was open when we started the Christmas updates on the 1st of December. So all you have to do, got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, all you have to do is click the green button that says Christmas shop. It'll take you to our Christmas shop page where you'll be greeted by some snowflakes, and you'll also be greeted by the Amazon banners. And the key to it all really is to click through the Amazon banners. It'll take you from our website, GavsWeathers.com, through to Amazon, and because you've gone from our site to their website, it means we get a revenue fee on the items that you are purchasing for Christmas. It's been a huge success so far. Big thanks to everybody that's done their Christmas shopping at Amazon via Gavs Weathers. There's still plenty of time to get Christmas presents out to you. Of course, it's around 5 or 6 weeks away still. So just go off to Amazon via the Amazon banners in Gav's shop if you would like to do that. Big thanks to everybody for doing that. So the Christmas updates, as always, we're using the CFS 9 monthly forecast from the website meteoshield.fr. This was generated midday yesterday on the 15th of November. There's always a 24-hour delay with these charts coming through, and we always try and use the same run. It does run 4 times a day: midnight, 6 o'clock in the morning, midday, and 6 o'clock in the evening, same as with the GFS, actually. We always try to use the same run, the midday run, for no particular reason other than the fact that it's important that we're not accused of cherry picking. So out of the 4, I just randomly picked the midday run, and it's exactly how the charts have come out when we are doing the update. If the model is working correctly, we should eventually start to find a trend and patterns emerging. So we're going to start off on the 8th of December tonight, and this one is bringing in a westerly flow, so bringing areas of low pressure in off the Atlantic. That's probably taking outbreaks of rain. Got a high pressure out in the middle of the Atlantic, and low pressure is up around Iceland. So we're in basically a flat westerly type flow. It's not overly mild, but probably does bring outbreaks of rain across the country. Now, running up towards the 10th of December, we keep that westerly going. Another area of low pressure is running in across the north of Scotland, taking more rain, maybe bringing some wintry showers to the far north of the Scotland. But this is all still quite Atlantic-driven and fairly sort of mild stuff as well. However, we don't have to wait long to get some colder weather, so we go through to the 12th, and we've got some ridging developing in the Atlantic as this low pressure moves in towards the Norwegian Sea. That turns the winds into the north. That's much colder air coming down across the country. You follow the isobars back, the areas originating from somewhere to the north of Norway, a fairly long sea track, so it wouldn't be desperately cold, but certainly a lot colder with the air moving southwards on the backside of this area of low pressure. Running up towards the middle part of December, that low pressure sits to the east of us with high pressure out to the west on the 13th into the 14th of December, so this does look cold. There'll be more snow showers coming into the north particularly, and some quite harsh overnight frost as well. This area of low pressure is interesting down to the southwest around Portugal. Where does that go? As we run up towards the 15th of December, that starts to move our way, turning the winds into the east across the south, so that could bring some snow into southern parts of the country around the middle point of December. So this is the 15th through to 16th. We keep it cold then. That area of low pressure is still there down to the south, maybe threatening southern parts of the country with some snow. However, the high pressure is starting to topple in off the Atlantic. So up to the 16th, it's staying cold. Winds are in from the north. We'd probably have some quite harsh overnight frost coming through with that as well. Beyond that, we begin to run up towards Christmas, and we start to re-establish a westerly flow. So this area of low pressure begins to topple back in off the Atlantic. That probably brings more snow as it hits the cold air, but then milder air begins to move in from the west. Running beyond that up towards the 18th and 19th December, we firmly establish westerlies. So this looks a very unsettled update tonight. The 8th update is bringing low pressure in as we run up towards Christmas, 21st of December. Tight back to iceberg, so it's really windy with gales. There'll be quite a lot of heavy rain as well. Maybe cold enough for some snow up across Scotland, but it is a desperately cold pattern. Going up towards the 22nd of December, another storm is getting going there to northwest Scotland. That's bringing another bout of rain and gale force winds across the country. Right, let's get up to Christmas then. And this takes us to the 23rd of December. This looks very nasty indeed. A really deep storm to the north of Scotland. Severe gales coming across the country. Again, it's not particularly cold. Could be cold enough some wintry showers for Scotland, but the main thing there is the wind. That does look quite horrendous. Into Christmas Eve then, and we're into a showery flow then, beginning to turn a bit colder again. The winds are starting to go into the north, so that could begin to turn showers increasingly wintry across Scotland on Christmas Eve and into Christmas Day. Elsewhere, probably just rain showers in the south, but it is quite a cold northwesterly wind there that's starting to move through Christmas Eve in towards Christmas Day. This is how Christmas Day itself is looking then. Quite a cold one. It's not anywhere near as cold as the 7th update and a couple of the other updates that we've done. Even so, winds are coming in from the north, so it's not going to be a mild Christmas. If this is right, it would be largely sunny, quite cold, frost early and late, and maybe cold enough for some snow showers in the north and possibly running down the eastern side of the country as well. Snow wouldn't be widespread, but fairly coldish Christmas showing up there again on the 8th update, albeit not to the depth of cold and snow that we had for the 7th update. We get through to Boxing Day, and high pressure is again toppling in from the Atlantic, so that implies quite a frosty and cold Boxing Day. However, we've got low pressure beginning to move back in from the west again. That's bringing cloud, rain and milder temperatures in towards the north and the west of the country. And as we run up beyond sort of Boxing Day towards the no man's land between Christmas and New Year, we find ourselves going back into westerlies again. So this is a much more Atlantic-driven update, albeit there is cold conditions at times. This is much more Atlantic driven, so consequently it is a milder update. The flow is from the west, so we bring bouts of rain across the country. Again, strong winds, like back to icebergs are there, particularly to the north, with gale force winds in the northern part of the country as we get through towards the 30th of December. New Year is looking like this. It still looks very unsettled. This is New Year's Eve, deep area of low pressure, again coming in from the west. Remember, these colours are not indicative of temperature. You might look at this and think these blues and greens are indicative of very cold temperatures. They're not really. They are indicative of pressure. So it's just telling you that the pressure is really quite low. It isn't a mild flow there we've got on New Year's Eve. It is quite cool, but it's Atlantic driven, so it's not Arctic, it's not Siberian. in nature, and overall, particularly for the south, probably on the milder side of things. New Year's Day looks unsettled as well, still keeping that westerly going. That's probably sunshine and showers for New Year's Day, although Scotland may be wet and windy. And then just running through the opening week of January, well, we started to get a bit of a build of pressure through the first week of January around Scandinavia. So as we go towards the 6th, which of course is 12th night, we find high pressure beginning to build over Scandinavia, trying to block off the Atlantic. I'll just run you through a little bit further, see what happens there. So a bit of a battle taking place. Low pressure's coming in from the Atlantic, hitting that block of cold air that's sitting over Scandinavia. The winds are trying to back in to the east, so that could be rain or snow there through that first week of January. Eventually, however, the easterlies do win for time towards the 9th, 10th of January, so it does turn cold briefly before the westerlies come back in, and off we go again with those westerly winds. So it's a bit of an in-between update, this one, the 8th update. It's nowhere near as cold and snowy as the 7th update was. It isn't relentless mild weather. The general flow is Atlantic-based, however, so it is a significantly milder update compared to the 7th update. Just a lot of Atlantic-driven, wet, windy, quite stormy weather being seen, but there are colder interludes, particularly around the middle of December, and then, interestingly, right over Christmas itself, it does turn a bit colder briefly. But overall, I think put this down as a milder one. Really, it's more Atlantic-driven, lots of low pressure, lots of gales, lots of rain, that kind of thing. So we'll see what the 9th update says when we do that one, which will be on Friday evening. So come back then for the 9th update. But that's all for now, and thanks very much for watching.